My name is Rosa Coker, and I'm going to be doing a speech on urban legends today. And I have my audience right here, so we're going to take a swing pass through for the audience. And hey guys! Thank you so much for being here today. You guys are good. The history of urban legends, their role in American society, and how facts turn into fiction from telling of these stories. We're talking about how persuasive urban legends are in mainstream American society today. Despite its name, an urban legend does not necessarily originate in an urban area. Rather, the term is used to differentiate modern legend from traditional folklore in pre-industrial times. For this reason, sociologists and folklorists prefer the term contemporary legend. Urban legends are sometimes repeated in news stories and in recent years distributed by email or even social media, which we're all very familiar with social media. They call this people frequently allege that such tales happen to a friend of a friend. And I never knew this, but it's called FOAF, which is like super crazy. The phrase has become a commonly used term recording the type of story. I will be explaining the history of urban legends, why they started, how we continue to spread forms of urban legends in today's society, and if there are any separation of truth within these legends and myths. My first point, urban legends are derived from the old age tradition of folklore or the passing on of stories from groups and individuals. We even use the word legend to often describe a visionary or a very unique individual. Through the ages, legends have carried along incredible events and mystical times. These tales are often described as apocryphal and questionable authorities or fictitious. Many urban legends change over time as the teller will often inject their own details, kind of like phone tag. I tell you this story and you tell somebody else that same story, but it never ends up being the same. So, Mr. Mike J. Coven, a folklorist of the University of Wales, stated, "Life is so much more interesting with monsters in it. It's the same with these legends. They're just good stories." However, there's another folklorist by the name of Runven. He's considered the preeminent scholar of urban legends, but has a different definition. He writes, "A strong basic story appeal, a foundation is actual belief, and a meaning, message, or moral is what is embraced in urban legends." So originally, urban legends were supposed to be a way to teach your children, your family, and your friends morals. So they may seem like frivolous and silly stories sometimes, but they usually have a lesson, they have a moral, or even just a piece of history ingrained into them so that we can learn from it if we look closely. Urban legends are usually spread through word of mouth. However, since the explosion of the popular internet and social media, i.e. Facebook, Twitter, there's another one, Crackle, all those that are out right now, they have propelled the dissemination of current urban legends as they are today. Which brings me to point 2. We have been told many stories of legends in our lives. We know the legend of King Arthur and the Knights and the Round Table. We know the legend of Robin Hood. The urban legends also speak loudly of society's concerns and priorities. During the time of September 11, 2001, many stories floated around about possible future attacks. So people were scared to go to malls, stadiums, even their own campuses, because they didn't know if the terrorists were going to destroy those as well, just full of hatred. Our fear of unsafety and unknown manifests in urban legends because Americans were scared, confused, and unsure about what the future would bring. Urban legends can tell us a lot about what is on our minds, what we consider important, and what shakes us up as a society. Today is almost as if our society has switched legends and myths into a form of gossip. I don't know if you guys heard of TMZ, and I just realized that TMZ stands for the 30-mile zone. So, a 30-mile zone means it's a term originated from the 1960s, no less. And what it is due to the growth of location shoot studios that established in the 30-mile zone, they monitor regulations for shooting in Hollywood. So they called the zone in Hollywood the 30-mile zone because people would stand out there and they would follow you. Now, granted, they weren't going 30 miles per hour, but it was like a slow area. It was often said that everything entertainment happens in that 30-mile zone. So to this day, it's the biggest area to test media. Full of reality and mythical reporting is what it really is. This just proves that morals and values are slowly dying, and that there are no new legends like Robin Hood, fighting to give to the poor. I guess that's just too real for people. People in today's society want to hear why Britney Spears had her baby sitting on her lap while she was driving, or talk about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's divorce allegations and other stories that really aren't affecting us. It's just pure gossip. So how much of what we have heard continue to repeat and stories being told are actually true nowadays. Which brings me to my third point. So, the wonderful legend of the Wizard of Oz from 1989, the original, the real Wizard of Oz, not Oz, right? The Scarecrow and the Tin Man head down the yellow brick road.